All right, lead heads, welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast. This is episode 2222. Almost at 2223. That's going to be a good show. We'll have to do something special for next week's episode. But this week is going to be an awesome show for you guys. And you can probably hear in the background I got a little static, so that means I've got some guests on the line with me. But first, I want to make sure you guys go back and listen to last week's episode 2221, where we had Bud and Lori from X Steel Targets, and we talked about some great targets that you guys can use for long distance that are AR500 steel targets. They've got a new line of targets coming out that would definitely fit that build for you guys. We also had Nate with Frontier Tactical joining me as my co-host. And then we got into some more of our interviews from the Big Three East, where we had David from Mission First Tactical on and Big Adam from Palmetto State Armory talking about Palmetto State's new PCC and 45 caliber. So make sure you guys go back and check out that episode. But this week we have an extra special treat for you lead heads. We've got the guys and gal, if she wants to take part, from Iraq veteran 888888888888, Eric, Chad, and sometimes Miss Queen Bee.
Howdy.
What's up, guys?
Does everyone know the sound of my voice coming through the speakers of your truck right now? Keep it between the lines.
Keep it between the lines. All right, so now the other one talking. Let's see if they can differentiate which one's Chad and which one's Eric.
Hi, I'm Chad, and I'm just sitting here just talking to Marty, and I love him. He's just so sweet. Oh, goodness gracious! You think you can tell us apart now?
Well, you just said your name was Chad, so.
Well, it is. Sometimes it just depends what you want to call me, honey.
I don't gave it away.
What are you, Southern Belle now? I need to make you a mint juleps.
Well, they do say that we married all the time, so I guess I'm just a wife.
Where's my cornbread, bitch?
Well, shoot.
And
what does that make me then?
The Queen Bee.
I don't know.
I don't think Brandi does shows very often, does she?
No, I don't.
So, she's busy with all kinds of other important things.
So for those who aren't familiar with Brandi, Eric, introduce Brandi to the Leadhead Nation.
All right, guys. Well, Brandy's my wife and business manager and manager of many other things as well. But she basically keeps all of us crazy selves in line,
Yahoos,
if that's a word. Yeah, I mean, really, she's the brains behind the operation. I make it look ugly, and Chad makes it look pretty with the editing. I make it ugly, and she makes it all make sense. So Brandi is not a face you see on the channel. She doesn't really appear on the channel on the videos at all, but she's very important behind the scenes and everything like that. And she pretty much keeps me sane with all this stuff. So,
wow, Brandi, what do you think about that?
I'm often referred to as the glue that holds everything together.
She is
the Bondo.
she's the Brando.
The Brando. There you go. I see a T-shirt in our future.
Uh-oh.
Well, guys, welcome in. I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And this is kind of an unstructured show, but we've got some direction that we're going to head with it.
Marty, we're always unstructured, man.
Well, you guys aren't.
Oh, yeah.
you really aren't.
We're the masters of doing things the wrong way, and we just kind of like half-assedly sort of make it look good, you know. So
well, you still got all your digits, right?
Yes, I do.
So far, so today. I mean, you're doing something right. I mean, you're in a room full of explosive binary materials there. So
it's just gunpowder. It's all right.
They know that if they lose a limb or something, I'm going to practice my suturing on them so they walk the straight and narrow.
So they might end up with a thumb where their ear's supposed to be.
I don't know. Brandy's just been dying to stitch somebody up, so she's been waiting for some big laceration to happen.
I don't know. I got a pretty nasty spot on my elbow.
Hey, Skinny Medic said I did a good job, so
Eric's got a boo-boo. So are you taking training classes, Brandi?
I've got a little bit of background in the medical field, but mostly I just dabble. But I am going to take a 8-hour class with Skinny Medic soon. I think we're going to host one.
Very nice. Is that going to be down in Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Georgia.
Down here in the South, baby.
Well, you need to give us a heads up on that so we can announce it to the Leadheads so they can sign up. I'm sure they're going to want to attend.
I'm not sure if it's going to be public or private because he only does small classes, like 10 people. So it may just be like our group of folks and maybe a few others.
Need to pop his cherry and get like 1,000 people there.
Oh, Lord. I don't know if he can handle that.
all y'all have to do is just follow me around and follow the blood trail, and you'll just, all you need.
You got a live subject right there between you two.
I've always got a hole in me somewhere.
What's your latest project that you guys have posted up? I know you guys are always working on something.
Posted or unposted?
We'll talk posted, then we'll talk unposted.
Well, let's see. Well, what's scheduled for tomorrow morning is 1891 Argentine Mauser. We shot from 600 yards from the tower.
Ooh, nice. And
actually did quite well. So that'll be live tomorrow morning.
It did shoot exceptionally well.
There's a few other videos. I got some things I haven't edited yet. There's some other military surplus stuff. We did a Glock Gen 5 video just yesterday. It kind of turned into almost a meltdown because we just kept running.
We shot the mess out of that thing.
What do you think about the Gen 5s?
Well, I mean,
just happen to have one handy.
There you go. Well, look, here's the thing. I like the Glock 19 a lot. I'm a big fan of the 19, and I have several Gen 3s. Brandi has a Gen 3 19. I've got a couple of them. I know Chad has at least one.
I gave 117 to my dad, actually.
But it's just the thing is, I have Gen 3s already, and I do like the auto sear capabilities because we do run a lot of them as host guns from time to time. So it's kind of nice to have an auto sear capability running the full auto Glock sears in the back that replaces the back plate.
Right.
On the Gen, I wasn't really a big fan of the Gen 4, and then when the Gen 5 came out, I mean, there's some things about it that are kind of cool. I do like the fact that it has like a standard like button rifle barrel, more traditional barrel instead of the polygonal barrel, which really, if you're going to run cast ammo and things like that, that does give you some more flexibility if you're a hand loader and you can run cast ammo out of the gun. I do like the flared magwell a little bit. It's got a slight flare to it, which is kind of cool. And really, I mean, look, if somebody didn't have a Glock and they just wanted to have the coolest, newest thing, sure, the Gen 5 would be great. For some of us old salts that have been around forever, we have Gen 1s, Gen 2s, Gen 3s, earlier Glocks. I'm completely happy with the Gen 3 Glock. I like the way they fit my hand. I like the texture of the gun. And I'm going to agree with Chad. I almost like the RTF texture a little bit better than I do the Gen 5 texture.
Yeah, the Gen 5 texture is pretty much like what the Gen 4s were, but the RTF is just nice and grippy. And, I've got a Glock 43 that was done by Robar, and, their texture that they use is kind of a medium texture on that gun.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing, grab it. Well Marty can't see it, but I can at least feel it. Grab it real quick.
Yeah.
I like to keep my carry guns close there, boy.
Oh, yeah. Friends close by.
Yeah, but it's got a really nice grippy texture to it. It doesn't really,
grippy.
It's not terribly aggressive on your hand. And, if I was to purchase a Gen 5 for any particular reason, I would probably stipple the grip or have like Robar or somebody else do some sort of texture to it for sure.
Well, that's the thing now too, is everybody's into the stippling. So, I mean, I like that companies are going and they're putting some sort of a texture on there, but
I can see that.
That's a very aggressive stippling there. I like that. Yeah, so Chad is showing me his stippling, which is very nice. But I'm like you guys, the Gen 3 Glock. I really love the Gen 3 Glock. But I'm really enjoying the Gen 5s. The trigger.
The trigger's nice. If you're a left-handed shooter, I mean, right out the gate, the Gen 5 is made for you. All you have to do is swap the mag release over.
Yeah.
That ambidextrous slide lock is pretty nice, the slide release.
What I'm really curious to know is how that new finish holds up, because, they did change the finish process.
Right.
And look, like the finish on the 42s and 43s really does blow.
Yeah.
Big time. And, that's one major complaint a lot of folks have had with the 42s and 43s, and even a lot of the Gen 4s have that kind of black oxide finish.
Yeah.
Just does not hold up that well. So I'm really curious to see how the new finish process holds up. I'm certain that it's a type of melaniting. I mean, I don't think they call it melaniting because I think that's a term that Smith & Wesson uses, but it's basically a form of melaniting.
Yeah. When I asked them what it was, they didn't really have a term for it. It's a new coating is what they said. So
it's likely some form of nitriding, just whatever the case is, using some different chemicals. But, the Gen 3s, I mean, I've got police trading Glock 17s, that have never had a spot of rust on them ever. But my Gen, I guess Gen 4, would be the correct term for the 43s. I own 2 of them. And, literally just carrying the thing around every day for a few months, it developed rust on the bull nose. It developed rust on the rear of the slide around the sights. I mean, it just that is not what a Glock should be, subject to. It should. Well,
I would consider those. I would consider those Gen 1s because they've never existed before.
Yeah, but the features of them and the finish and everything is more along the lines of what they were doing with the Gen 4s.
Well,
they're 27 or they're 26s and they're 27s. Yeah.
Yeah,
those hold up wonderful.
They do.
And that Tenifer finish, I think it's an EPA thing. The reason that they can't apply it here, I think it has to do with some EPA restrictions.
That's a good point.
Like, why change what they're doing if the old finish works really well? Well, it's because they can't apply it here. It's some legality with apparently it's bad for the environment or something. So
there's a lot of stuff that's bad for the environment. We still got some laying around.
Oh, what? Who? Say what?
So Eric, what is my new Glock? What gen is my new Glock?
Your new Glock.
Well, you've got a 42, but I think it's been Cerakoted.
Oh, okay.
Click. Yep.
So you got a Cerakote. Who does your Cerakoting?
Moss Pine gave it to me as a gift, and it's Tiffany blue.
So you got one of the cutesy ones. Okay.
Well, Ryan up there probably did that Cerakote, unless Adam's their new intern from SDI, so he's been doing a pretty good job up there. But Ryan does some pretty excellent Cerakote work.
Well, it's funny you should say Cerakoting. We're going to be continuing our interviews from the Big 3 East, and we're going to have Medieval Industries. They've got a new what is it called? Hand grip, foregrip that rotates like 360 degrees. You can put it in all kinds of different positions. So that's going to be.
I think we've seen that one before. They've had it on display at a SHOT Show and like the NRA on some of the KSGs that they have over at the Keltec booth.
Uh-huh.
It's that one that's just a regular post. You twist it and you can rotate it around all sorts of different directions.
Yeah, it's got like a ball joint on it. And yeah. So we're gonna have those guys on, and we're gonna have Tucker from
Blackout Custom Cerakotes.
Tucker's company, but he's a Cerakote company, and we're going to have him on too. He does all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh no!
Do you know Tucker?
I don't know. I don't know the name of the company, but I think I know who you're talking about. It's one of those Cerakote companies.
Well, look. The cool thing about Cerakote and Durakote is, they really are a very easy finish to apply. Really, if you can spray paint stuff well, you can spray Durakote. And look, that works. And the thing is, I am not artistically inclined at all. Okay. I'm the least artistic person you will ever meet when it comes to drawing or painting or anything like that. But even I can spray Durakote or Cerakote. Now, some of these folks do like killer work. I'm talking like they're artistic and they like guns. And those are the folks that are really doing special stuff where, they do like the whole distressed look and all that. That is killer. Like it takes a lot of patience.
That's pretty easy. You could do that. I mean, all you have to do is just Cerakote and then drag it behind your truck for a little while, right?
Yeah,
about it. That's how they do that, right?
I don't think that's the idea behind it, but.
Oh, well, crap. All right.
But they are doing some awesome stuff.
They actually use a lot of the same processes that the Fender custom shop uses. Like when Fender takes a Stratocaster or a Telly or something, they weather it and make it look all crazy and worn out. They use a lot of really interesting techniques to accelerate that wear and make it look that way. And a lot of these Cerakote and Durakote guys are doing the same exact thing. Like they're taking like sections of Berber carpet and like rubbing it and stuff. And it really gives it this crazy
like on
look.
HGTV where they're using sponges and different things to paint their walls to get the different textures.
I'm not kidding, man. Some of the techniques, you would be surprised. They're pretty.
So have you been to the Fender shop? Have you been there to watch them do this?
I never have. Yeah, it's funny. Brandi and I were talking about it. I've always wanted to commission a custom, custom shop Strat. But man, those things start at like $3,900, and that's a master built. And the thing is, you can go out to, I think it's Corona, California, out to Fender, and you can go and meet your master builder and talk to him and stuff. But it's like, man, you're gonna fly out to California, spend $4,000. wait forever.
Yep.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful guitars, but man,
I would
it's a lot of coin.
I would think that you guys might be able to work out maybe a trade with them, and you could go out and do a video. You know, that would add a whole nother dimension to your show, man. That would be awesome.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because last night we did our first Patreon exclusive meetup, like our first. Well, this is a podcast, but I guess what would you call it, like a YouTube live or whatever?
We did we basically did a Google Hangouts.
Yeah,
it was funny. We did a Google Hangout through YouTube, but since we've got an account strike because of dumb crap, because of the whole Vegas shooting, the bump fire stocks and all that mess.
Yeah.
So, our live stream capability was revoked for however many weeks. So we actually pirated the Gun Collective's channel, and we did a Google Hangout through the Gun Collective's channel for our Patreon supporters, which was kind of interesting. It's the first time we ever did that. And I'm like, help, Brandi, tell me what to do.
Well, calling John. The reason that we mention it is because, we discussed with some of our patrons last night the potential of starting a second channel, just for some of the more, like motorcycles and like random guy stuff, fishing and like, like
guitars, music, that kind of stuff.
Guitars and music. Well, exactly.
We talked about
a place for all that stuff to kind of lie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For the past couple of years, we've talked about doing a music channel and the potential of it and everything and how we could go about it. But, honestly, we've had this kind of quasi-recording studio set up in the loft over at Eric's place for at least a year, maybe a year and a half or so, and we have used it like none. Hardly any. We jammed.
I'm fixing to steal the computer.
Yeah, Brandy's going to steal the editing computer basically because nobody's using it. Because I was editing over there for a while, but it just got to be too much of a inconvenience because I can edit at home and then take care of things around the house or whatever I need to do, or errands or things out in the shop.
Right.
But if I'm down at Eric's editing, then I'm kind of limited in that spare time that I have while videos are rendered and such.
Yeah.
So
I think the Gunny heard you say something about YouTube. I hear that Jackwagon train rolling in. Gunny, bring the train on in and let's throw some Jackwagons on the train.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, Gunny's got the train in, and I hear another train in the background there. You guys must have another Gunny Jackwagon train in your backyard as well.
Oh, it comes by all the time. It messes our videos up sometimes.
They drop people off all the time, unfortunately. Yeah. So
they blow that horn.
They toot that Jackwagon horn all down the line.
So speaking of YouTube, I don't think we've addressed this yet or not, but ever since the incident in Vegas with the bump fire stocks, YouTube has gone, and anybody who had any videos or anything to do with that, and I don't know what their standards are because I don't do a whole lot of YouTubing, so it don't matter.
Nobody knows what the standards are,
right? But they gave everybody a strike who had that. There was no warning or notification or anything like that. Hey, we're going to start monitoring videos with this particular subject matter. They just went ahead and gave everybody a strike, and by doing that, I assume that limited some of your capabilities or something like that, right?
Well, the first strike limited our live streaming capabilities, but it was funny because we were at Range Day back in early October, and all this stuff was going down that week, and all of a sudden we were all finished with the day, shooting everything, and we were kind of like winding down. We were going to dinner, and a lot of us were just hanging out, and all of a sudden everybody started getting emails popping up. Okay, yeah, well, these videos are pulled and you've been issued an account strike, emails from YouTube. And it was not only us, but Suits 00 and 22 Plinkster, Mr. Guns and Gear. I mean, everybody who was hanging out with us. Yeah. I mean, everybody got account strikes because of the stupid crap. And Suits were the worst. I mean, ours was actually a Bumsky video. It was a Bumsky install video that Eric did up in Indiana, I believe, when we were up there at Corey and Erica's at their first YouTube type shoot. Mm-hmm. And that was back 4 years ago. And that video's just been hanging out. We actually honestly forgot about it. And it got flagged for, being, I guess, dangerous and violent content or whatever the case is, whatever they changed their algorithm to match.
Here's the thing. It didn't even have a lot of views.
No,
it wasn't even really seen by a lot of people. And they just decided to arbitrarily punch a bunch of us in the face. And the thing is, they do have standards. They have very clearly defined community standards that everyone's supposed to abide by. And YouTube really has a very honest and straightforward mission statement. Their mission statement basically is for everyone to have an equal opportunity to have a voice, to have an audience, and to share their ideas in an open environment with the world. Mm-hmm. YouTube has always stood under a banner of First Amendment rights and having the freedom of speech to say what you want and to be, on a level playing field with everybody else around you. And when they did that, they made a stark, basically a very stark
divergent, divergent from their policy.
That they were willing to give the green light to some people, and others they're willing to silence.
Well, it reminded me a lot of when a lot of the big box stores, like after Sandy Hook, started pulling black rifles off the shelves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Just because of public opinion on this is kind of swayed, so we need to get these out of here. So it's like, public opinion swayed on bump fire stocks.
Right.
5% of the population knew about them before Vegas, and now the other 95% were learning from the mainstream media,
which is inaccurate portrayal of them. Yeah,
all of the accurate content got pulled down, so that's all they had to go on. So that's what they're learning from.
The point is, though,
right? That's a good point.
The major hang up, though, is that instead of contacting me like human beings and saying, "Hey, this might be a problem. Do you think that we can maybe make these private for a while?" Or, "Hey, can you pull them down? Mm-hmm. And this is what we're thinking. Can you do this?" Instead of just trying to reach out to us like human beings and do the right thing.
It was just a punch in the face.
They decided to just sucker punch us and not give us a chance. And here's the bad part about it. I have no means to appeal it whatsoever. Whenever you get an account strike, you have a little button down there that says appeal.
Right.
And then you're able to appeal it and then give an explanation for why you think it's not a valid strike. I don't even have a means to appeal it. Like, they didn't even give me an option.
They used their God card and just, boom.
Now, to be fair, we've had some talks with YouTube about it, and they seem to have an air of care to them that they want to try to do something about it. Now, getting something actually done is another story.
Well,
but we're working on it.
Some of the channels out there that we talked to everybody, Such and Tim and everybody in our little circle, but Tim's had his account strikes removed. So they've been lifted. Such had his first one lifted. He actually got a second account strike, and all of his account strikes that he received the first one based on 3 videos that didn't have a thing to do with bump fire. One of them was like a Boyd's Wood AR stock install. One of them was maybe an ATI stock or something along those lines. They were regular stocks. It didn't have anything to do with bump fire, bump stocks, bump ski, echo triggers, binary triggers, anything like that. It was not related to the topic whatsoever, but he got 3 videos pulled and 1 account strike issued. And then his second strike was for a video called M4 Carbine, The Right Stuff, talking about M4 accessories, AR-15 accessories.
Wow.
And nothing about bump fire.
But to be fair, the videos have been restored, though.
Yeah.
So, Tim's second strike was for it was for a call out to $39.99.
The Republican turncoats video.
Right, that video, basically. And he got that video restored and got an apology from YouTube and got the strike removed. Don got this, I believe it was either the first or second strike removed, and I do believe the videos were restored to YouTube. But the thing is, we shouldn't even have to deal with that crap in the first place.
No, it's a knee-jerk reaction that they did. They came up with like you said, an algorithm. They were searching for keywords in video descriptions, and they just automatically pulled those without consulting.
It could be an algorithm thing on the back end for sure, but after all this stuff has been going on and it's just kind of been more prevalent in the past week, we all collectively feel like it's some anti-gun groups or whatever the case is kind of getting their troops together and just going out and randomly flagging videos. Not really randomly. I mean, specifically flagging videos like they do on Facebook all the time.
Right.
I mean, there's clear evidence of groups out there flagging content and creators on Facebook, for usually arbitrary things.
Right.
And automatically, the videos get pulled and then you have to go through this big appeal process. It's basically guilty until proven innocent.
They're hitting it up really hard.
They are big time.
That's all it is. They're going and trolling. And the thing is, it's against YouTube's policies to flag a video that is you're not having a valid reason to flag it. If you can't just flag it because you disagree. There has to be a valid. You have to have a valid reason, and you can have your YouTube account closed down if you do that.
Well, it's like Crying Wolf, but they have groups on YouTube that are called either Honest Flaggers or Trusted Flaggers or something along those lines, and they actually kind of, monitor YouTube and they help keep the bad content off of YouTube. But if that privilege is abused, like Eric said, they will punish it accordingly.
Right.
But it's just, in the meantime, we kind of get screwed.
The way this happened to you guys, and, that it happened to everybody at the same time. Like, I was there during range day, and it's like, it's like when the SEALs get an emergency call, everybody's beepers are going off. Everybody was looking down at their phones. They're like, "Holy crap! I'm getting a strike from YouTube."
It happened to everybody all at once.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I highly doubt it was some group that went through and was doing that. I think they did that on their own. There was some sort of algorithm or something and they used their God card and just chopped it.
I don't even have a tremendous problem that the video's not there anymore. I just want the account strike removed because I think it's bogus.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I mean, that was my whole thing with the bump stocks anyways. Like, all they did was make something that wasn't very popular to begin with popular. People wanted to go out and see it and find out what it was. And
look, the thing is, Marty, if you think real hard about it, gun control created the bump fire stock. If the Hughes Amendment had never been added to FOPA back in '86,
oh yeah, it would never existed.
Then machine guns would still be legal for civilian purchase under the NFA, and there would be no need for bump fire stock. I mean, and we know all what the crime looks like with NFA items. It's non-existent. I mean, it's non-existent.
Yeah.
So gun control created the bump fire stock, plain and simple. So
agreed.
Anyways,
that's a good point. That is a good point. So, speaking of that, with the bump fire stock, all the legislation that's being passed federally and then states, all the states have got these bills that are trying to get pushed through.
Lots been introduced, but nothing's been even brought out of committee yet on a federal level at all. So
right, I know here in Tennessee, there's been a bill proposed. It'll get squashed.
Same thing in Georgia.
But I mean, that's the thing is they're trying to make it sound like it's the bump stocks that they're trying to ban, but actually, it's anything that increases the rate of fire, which could ultimately just be your finger could increase the rate of fire.
Yeah, we talked about that in a previous video about so ban Jerry Mitchell's. I mean, here we go.
I mean, in order by that stark and just blatantly open-ended statement, you could say that a semi-automatic in general increases the rate of fire. So now all semi-automatics,
the gas blowback.
That's the big fear with the open-endedness of like HR 3999. Yeah, is just how arbitrary or how ambiguous that whole bill is. It's only a 3-page bill and it's literally one paragraph.
Right.
And like anything that increases the rate of fire, bump stocks aren't mentioned. Specifically, it's just any device to increase the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm, and that could be damn near anything.
That's too open-ended.
It's a gas.
So that's the big issue.
So that's the big issue. Really, it's a thing to end and ban semi-automatics is what it boils down to.
Of course, and that's the ultimate goal. And then the ultimate goal besides that is full gun confiscation. That's always the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's Dianne Feinstein's slippery slope that she's talking about. That she wants.
Oh yeah.
To get started.
She wants to slide right down it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean.
That woman.
She even mentioned that she wants the whole bump fire deal to be a slippery slope to lead to more gun control and what she wants. And she honestly came out and said, like we've said in previous videos, and Tim has as well, that she honestly said and stated publicly that no gun control on the books would have stopped this atrocity. And she's 100% correct.
We turn now to the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas. Senator Dianne Feinstein joins us from San Francisco. Senator, you're supporting a bill that would ban these bump fire stocks. Could there have been any law passed that would have stopped him?
No. He passed background checks registering for handguns and other weapons on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can agree with her on.
But she made a good point. She also said, "Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them in."
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
turn them in. I saw another gun buyback program the other day. I was in the gym. I didn't see where it was, but I was like, oh, God, these are starting to pop up again. Good Lord.
Oh, you want to talk about a jackwagon? I mean, the one guy in like Arizona or Nevada, whoever went out publicly and turned his guns in because I was like, you really think that that's the root of the problem? No. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand.
North Carolina?
No, it was somewhere out west, if I remember right. But I don't understand that line of thinking. Like, well, this happened, so my guns are dangerous. I got to get these out of the house, and here you go. Just take them away from me because I don't trust myself.
It's an irrational fear is what it is. It's people who have irrational fears. You can't try to understand that.
Sigmund Freud said that only really dumb and immature people fear firearms.
There you go.
Did he say that verbatim, or was that exact quote?
Was that firearms
that's more of a Ericanized.
Is that a paraphrase? Ericanized paraphrasing.
Fear of firearms is a gross sign of sexual immaturity.
Well, all right.
There you go.
Welcome back to Eric's couch.
To your mother and wanting to have.
Now, if you dream about guns, now I don't know what.
Don't go there, Marty. Yeah. Don't go there. I just finished watching Mindhunter.
I'm gonna look that.
I did too.
I just finished watching Mindhunter. That was a pretty good show.
I enjoyed that. I surprisingly enjoyed that.
I did too. It started off real slow, and then it kind of got into it, and I was like, man, like episode 10 or 11, I'm like, man, this is it. This sucks.
It seems like
and then Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Just watched that too. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about those in just a second. So as everybody knows and has heard, the thing that happened in Manhattan. So we've had another terrorist attack. And I don't know what direction I want to go with this as far as obviously the guy who committed the mass murders. I definitely want to throw him on the Jackwagon train. Not going to mention his name. I couldn't pronounce it even if I wanted to probably. But the fact that again, if we go to the gun grabbers and we go to people's logic or their illogic of guns are the root of all our evil. Well, again, this guy went and rented a truck from U-Haul or Hertz or wherever the hell it was.
It was a Home Depot truck.
Home Depot.
Oh my God!
Now, I am so much against the fact that somebody can go into a Home Depot and rent a deadly
without
V8
a background check,
and the truck is black and everything, and they can just ride off into the sunset and just run everybody over. Those things, they should be illegal.
The truck's actually,
who in the world allowed that? Yeah. Those evil people that allow those
and all the things that make them go faster.
Hands of people.
Yep. Well, it's like it's just under the limit of commercial vehicle status, so that way they can rent them and whatnot. It's a flatbed truck. I used to work at Home Depot, so I know all about them. I worked in rental department.
We want to talk about slippery slopes. Those rental trucks shouldn't be able to go over 10 miles an hour.
You don't have to go through a background check to rent a truck. You just literally have to have insurance and have a driver's license and be over the age of 21, and you're good.
Yeah, we don't want a truck that has an ability to hold 8 cylinders. We think that they should only have 1 cylinder because 8 is too deadly.
Or their tires, they can't have more than 4 tires. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Same logic as, they go as for firearms,
Yeah. Well, I hate to use it as such, but I mean, that terrorist attack is, it's a truth, or it's evidence that there is evil in the world, and you can't stop evil from perpetrating. You can only try to, dispel it by, having firearms and having a good defense against it. And, I mean, if you don't have a defense against evil, then guess what? Or evil's just going to take it.
And again, where did this happen? This happened in a very highly controlled
stricken area.
It's all the more reason why we need to get this national carry reciprocity put through. Somebody should have had a gun and should have smoked that dickweed.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
And didn't he have Nerf guns or something like that? I mean, there were pictures of him holding guns, but weren't they Nerf guns or something like that?
I read a couple of stories. One said imitation firearms. Another one said BB guns. So I'm not sure exactly if that meant like airsoft or if it meant like air rifles. I mean, because there's a lot of air rifles out there that are modeled after some, like, say, the SIG firearms.
Yeah. They look
I don't know exactly what the guy had. They do. They look very real. And there's plenty of airsoft guns out there too that, people have, perpetrated crimes with in the past, and they've gotten shot or killed, whatever the case is. And there's like, well, he didn't have a real gun. Well, he had one that looked like a real gun. He was pointing at a cop. So what do you expect?
And then Hillary Clinton came out and said, "Oh, good thing you didn't have a suppressor."
Did she really say that?
You freaking tool.
No.
It's not a real gun.
I haven't checked out on Snopes or anything yet, but did she really say that?
I don't know. Did she really
say that it didn't?
I think no. She said that about the Vegas. She said that about the Vegas shooting.
I think.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Like, I know we're talking about like the Jackwagon of the day or the week or whatever we're talking about in terms of who this Jackwagon is. But Hillary Clinton's like the Jackwagon of her life.
Oh no, she's got a permanent seat.
It's just exactly. She has a permanent seat
her,
at the
Obama,
Jackwagon train. She is the Jackwagon
Feinstein.
train conductor. She's the conductor of the train.
Actually,
who's the ghost guy?
She is getting dragged behind the train. That's where her seat is. She's back there bumping up and down on the train tracks.
She's shoveling the coal, keeping it going.
Right, exactly. But no, she definitely has a permanent seat on the Jackwagon train. But you know that's the thing is if again evil, it's evil that causes this. And is there any cure for evil? I mean, no, you can't. If somebody wants to be evil, they're going to be evil, and they will find a way, means to perpetrate their evilness, for lack of a better term at this point.
It takes good people to stop evil folks, you know.
It takes education, it takes good people, you know, and it takes the ability to be able to defend yourself.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, heck, in that situation, how can you defend yourself against a 10,000-pound vehicle rolling down the road?
You can't.
You know, I mean, what do you do?
You can't. And I think
we can start by not letting those people in our country.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, it comes into filtering the quality of people that come in and out of this country. Definitely.
I'm all for vetting everyone who comes in, you know. I mean, this is our damn country. We should be a little bit more,
proactive.
We should be a little bit more careful and proactive about who we let in this country. You can't just let every jackwagon in.
Yeah. And that's the way it used to be.
There's plenty of people that want to hurt us. I mean, it's just dumb. It's just
we're just letting them in.
Yeah.
Really stupid.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But do you guys have anybody else you want to throw on the Jackwagon train? Brandi, you got anybody?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth, huh?
Wait, is that right? Did I screw that up?
No. That's perfectly fine.
That's right.
Gunny, haul that train out of here. All right.
Toot.
So speaking of Gunny, Eric, you were recently on one of Gunny's TV episodes, right?
Yes, that was Gunny time.
Yeah.
That's one of his shows. Well, I think the main show he's doing now. And
I couldn't remember how many he had. I know he had several shows.
Well, yeah, I know he had what was a Mail Call.
Yeah.
I used to watch Mail Call.
Mail Call, and then he's always had some random TV show, and Gunny's a legend in that regard, and it was a lot of fun to work with him. He's just such a wonderful guy and so awesome to talk to. And we didn't get to talk as much as I'd like to, but we got to talk about Stanley Kubrick, like him working with Stanley Kubrick, which I'm a really big fan of Stanley Kubrick.
Yep.
So it was really cool to kind of have a direct link to somebody that had worked with Stanley before, and
Full Metal Jacket.
Just to hear him talk about like his experiences working with Stanley and everything, and just to hear the experience in his voice, like with doing this type of stuff. I mean, this guy has worked around film a long time, so it's really cool to kind of get some perspective from a guy like him who has been in front of the camera a lot, and it really helps me with some perspective. And then filming the show was fun. I mean, the crew was great. They were very professional. They did a wonderful job. In fact, some of the people on this crew I've worked with on TV before. So in terms of some of the behind the scenes guys, so it was cool to see them again.
Cool.
And working with Gunny was wonderful.
So how did that come about? How did you get the opportunity to be on Gunny Time?
I'll let Brandi cover that.
Miss Queen Bee.
Well, Fostech. They wanted to feature the Origin on Gunny Time TV, so they needed a shooter, and they asked Judd over at Fostech, said, "Hey, do you have anybody in mind?" And Judd's like, "Oh, well, we can do it." And they were like, "Well, what about a veteran? Do you know a veteran?" He's like, "I know just the just the fella."
Very cool. So what was that episode about? You're saying it's Fostech in there.
It was the Origin, the 12-gauge Origin shotgun.
Yep. That's a shotgun that Fostech makes, and it's basically like a really crazy tricked out Sega 12 with it's crazy. Okay. I mean, we've done a lot of videos on it, and it's been a real popular thing for us to cover on the channel. Like, we have Origin videos, have millions of views and everything. Mm-hmm. So during the show with Gunny Time, we were just a segment of the total episode. So it wasn't like it was just one entire episode devoted just to us. I think on that particular episode, they had a
Gatling gun. Was it a Gatling gun?
Yeah, they had a Colt Bulldog out there, old Gatling gun.
Sweet.
And they had, I want to say one of the segments was on like the CMMG Mutant. or something like that. So, basically Gunny will get, 2 or 3 different guests / gun companies / I guess interest that he wants to put on there, and then I guess he just rolls it all in to like 3 or 4 different things into one episode just to kind of make it roll along.
Is everybody there at one time, or they do it in different kind of segments?
They do it in different segments, but like basically they'll probably film like a few segments in one day. So I think like we filmed the Colt Bulldog in one day, and then the section with Gunny and I with the Origin, we filmed all of that in one day.
That's cool. So you got to see some other things being filmed while you were there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I hope that I'm not like overstepping my boundaries by saying this, but I think that they had somebody cancel, and the guy that we were like, I guess on the land hanging out with just happened to have a Colt Bulldog in his collection. So like, well, screw it. We'll break this thing out. And it ended up being great. Nice. Because I could tell Gunny was like, we're not going to hit shit with this damn thing. And like, just hearing him say that, it was so awesome. And I'm just thinking, come on, Gunny, give it a chance. And Gunny got behind that thing. He was just murdering stuff with it. It was awesome. And I think after he started like hitting the crap out of stuff with that Colt Bulldog, like it really turned him around quick. And he was like, yeah, it really drove it home. But
very cool.
I know how it feels. I guess the point I'm making is I really know how it feels to get out there, and it's like something's not happening the way you thought it was going to happen. Like today, we had exactly the same type of thing happen today, where we went out there with the intention of, okay, we're gonna do this thing. It's gonna be great. We're gonna film it, and it ended up being a big cluster. You know what? So
well, I mean, it always is when you're trying to send little 40 grain 22 pills in at 600 yards. Or big shotgun slugs out of an 18.5-inch smoothbore Benelli M2 at the same distance and not knowing where they're
going all over the place.
Yeah. Well, it kind of sucked because we just had 2 previous days of pretty much every gun working as it should have, and the days going along just fine. And that's kind of a rarity when everything works.
I will say one thing. We shot the freaking piss out of that Gen 5 Glock.
We did. You had a few issues with the Mauser broom handle, but the Astral worked good.
Yeah.
What else did we shoot that day? We shot the 410 musket, the Enfield.
Yeah.
And we did 4, didn't we? What was the other one?
I want to say we did.
What was the other one that we did? Another handgun?
Now, these ones coming up, remember? Are these videos that are coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, these are videos that are up and coming. And then the day before that, we did like a couple of different mill serps from the tower. In fact, today we were out shooting, our little like green Fugly Mosin with the 10.5-inch barrel.
Yeah.
We were making shots out to 600 yards with it today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Stupid with a red dot. Yeah. So,
awesome.
We do some silly stuff like that.
So you guys were nailing it with that Mosin?
Yeah.
Eric was, yeah. And we took the heavy barrel Fugly out, which was basically, it's a custom Mosin that Eric had put together. It's been a few years in the making, but it had a heavy barrel like UK-59 machine gun blank that was chambered and everything all ready for 7.62x54R. And it just happened to be cut for Mosin threads. So what they did was they fabricated a barrel nut and everything, and Ray put all that together, and then it got sent off to Bluegrass Gun Stocks. They did a custom stock on it, rock solid mount. We put an optic on there and took it out, zeroed it, and we were shooting like the cheapest 203 grain Barnall, like brown bear type ammo, cheap out to 600 yards with this thing.
Doing quite well with it.
It was doing awesome. But that gun was awesome. We were running a dead air Sandman TI on it, and that sucker was stupid quiet. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, I've heard good things about
setup.
dead air. Yeah.
Now, dead air's cans were amazing, but just that rifle overall for what it is, a cheap just target rifle plinker. I mean, it really fits the bill well.
For what I have in it, I mean, it's neat.
But it's been a long time coming, but we get out and we do, a few days of filming, and we'll do like between, 8 and 12 videos or however many we can get done. And then all those just kind of go into the queue. They get put up on a whiteboard, and I just kind of edit them as we go. And we film some inside stuff over at Eric's or gunsmith and stuff up at Moss, whatever. I mean, all that stuff gets put in the queue. We don't film like on a daily basis and release stuff. It all kind of gets put back. I mean, some of the videos we released recently have been in the queue for a month or more.
Oh, so I mean, I can imagine you guys are probably, backdated for probably months, maybe even years with all the content that you guys have.
We have enough stuff just sitting around, right, military surplus wise, to do a military surplus video every week for probably 2 years.
So how do you decide? I mean, you said you had a whiteboard. I mean, you guys are constantly getting people I know that are coming to you and say, hey, you want to try this, you want to review this. And I know you're getting some just, stuff that you're salivating over and other people would just be, walking around with boners about. But How do you decide like what gets put in front of something else?
Whatever we want to do.
This is whatever you feel like.
It's just whatever we feel like posting. I mean, like for instance, right now, like when we did a video from the tower, we shot an M90 130, just standard Mosin service rifle from the tower with 200 grain ammo with bayonet attached, and we were making some pretty consistent hits out to 600 yards over the sights. And like for me, I guess it's like I would love to see that video up soon because it's just like I love it when a plan comes together. So a lot of times what we'll do, if we're going to be doing a video on something in my collection, like today, for instance, really good example. You know, I got a 2.8 Ishapur Enfield, 7.62 by 51, basically 308 Enfield. All right. Are we going to film this or not? Well, we take it out, maybe shoot a mag out of it, see if we're getting some good shots in at 600. If the accuracy's not good, then guess what? That video's not getting made.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just, if it's a gun out of my collection, if it don't shoot worth the piss,
now,
we may just go on to something else.
Are you using a optics for that 600, or are you just doing iron sights at 600?
Iron sights on the military surplus stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, we do that all the time. We'll just, take a rifle out that we may have done a video on in the past. Like that Argentine, for example, that video was at least 2 years old, and we only shot it from, I guess, 300 yards or so. So we took it straight to the tower and just kind of revisited it.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually take some backup plans out too. And I just picked up number 5 Mark I jungle carbine, and I bought some ammo for Moss 4 and everything. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get this thing out. We're gonna do a video on it. The first shot, I'm like, I created the primer really good and spread that thing out. It just, the headspace on it is shot just like most Enfields. Mm-hmm. They're like, we're not going to use that right now. So
that's how it goes now.
So that one's going back to the drawing board right now, and it'll get put on the back burner for a while, and we'll get back to it at some point.
That's right.
But there's a lot of stuff like that.
Is there anything
there's always something to do
that you guys, you guys pretty much can do anything you want to do, shoot anything you want to shoot? Is there anything you've not been able to get your hands on yet that you want?
You mean like new stuff?
New or old, yeah. Just like what's something that you're just dying to do a video on that you haven't done yet?
I know. I would like to, even if we don't video it, I would like to at least shoot one of those Hudson H9s. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
The Hudson H9. I'd like to check out one of the fixed rifles from Q, talking about modern stuff.
Yeah, those Qfixes, those things are neat.
I'd like to check one out in 6.5. I've never really been big into 6.5 because I've never really shot it a whole lot, but I'm interested in it.
I'm telling you, man, 6.5 is really becoming the the buzzword in the industry now.
But that rifle just seems cool. I mean, like a sub 7 pound gun, and I thought it'd be cool to drop like a thermal on it and use it as like a suppressed nighttime hunting rig.
The only thing about the Qfix, though, I have heard some issues that people are having out of them. Like issues with like the bolt sticking bad, like headspace issues. I mean, I've heard some horror stories about that gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully that stuff will kind of alleviate itself and they'll get their act together on it, or whatever the case is. But that's an interesting firearm. I mean, we all know Kevin Brittingham. He's good at marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, so that gun's being marketed quite well. But let's just see if it lives up to the hype is what I'd be mainly curious about. But, old rifles. I mean, I still would like to get a hold of some things out of Tim's collection because he has a very extensive military surplus collection. He's got like the little Rashid carbines that are in 7.62 by 39, basically an Egyptian.
Now we say Tim, you're talking about Military Arms Channel Tim, right?
Military Arms Channel, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got a Spanish destroyer carbine that he was just showing off the other day. Like everything that he shows off on like Instagram or YouTube is like, oh, Tim!
I actually am buying a gun from Tim pretty soon. Brandy doesn't know it yet, but it's
she does now.
Yeah.
Yep. You told on yourself.
I was gonna say she's gonna break silence for that.
But yeah, that'll be interesting.
That'll be cool.
So
yeah.
be another project. So
I would definitely.
But Tim's got a bunch of neat stuff.
Yeah, he does. How does he come about his stuff? I mean, he's got a lot of connection. He travels around quite a bit too, all over the world. Magic.
He runs into a lot of people, and also, with him having the storefront up there in Valparaiso, and everything.
Copper Custom,
Copper Customs. He has a lot of people walk-ins that bring him stuff too, like trade-ins and things like that. So he does basically operate a full-time walk-in gun shop too. So he does get a lot of trade-ins and things like that, and. Tim's Tim, so he knows everybody.
He's a military surplus fanatic, much like we all are. So,
oh yeah,
we fight over guns and stuff like that. Like Eric and I go to the same shop, and sometimes we fought over guns, or go to the gun show and we fight over guns. And we wind up getting each other back on things.
So when there's when there's just like one of them and you both are there, how do you decide who gets it?
Whoever whipped out the money the quickest.
Yeah, so there was a P17. There was a P17 that was on the table, and I'd been talking about one, and so had Eric. I'm like, man, I really want a P17. It's an American service rifle, yakety yak. But we walk into this gun show, and like literally the first table in there's a P17 on. I was like, oh man, that thing looks great. And Eric's whipping out money. I was like, I told you I wanted one. And before we went to the show, we were getting money out of the ATM, and I gave him my debit card to get some cash out, and he put my PIN in like 3 times wrong. So it locked my account.
Yeah,
so I couldn't even get money. Yeah, I couldn't even get cash out at the gun show. And I was like, oh my God.
Thinking ahead right there.
I did kind of swipe that number 5 out from under him up at mall. So,
What's
I
the
got
number 5?
Now it's his turn. It's a little short British Enfield.
Okay.
Oops. Well, this got the headspace issue on it right now, but so it's a little jungle carbine.
Yeah.
Got the flash hider on there, shorter barrel. Got a lightened and scalped receiver, lightened bolt handle, rubber butt plate, 303 Brit, 10 round, box mags, fed with stripper clips, just a shoulder pounder, and just one neat gun for an Enfield guy. I mean, I'm big into Enfields for whatever reason. I don't know why, but the troops love it. Yep.
That headspace issue might be another gunsmithing video.
We actually are doing a video on Headspace soon.
That's something
that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, that'd be a good video to do. Now, do you guys get into hunting at all? Are you hunters?
Oh yes.
I figured you kind of were. So
I'm going tomorrow morning.
Is it muzzleloader where you guys are?
Rifle season's in now.
It started? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it started like a week ago yet or not. I'll have to check.
It started like October 22nd or somewhere right around there. But Eric took a buddy out, and they hunted over at the farm with the Maxim 50. When muzzleloader season was in, they got a doe kill on camera with the Maxim 50. And Eric's been hankering to kill a deer with like the Martini Henry and a few other black powder guns. And I've just been wanting to kill a deer with my oh yeah, there he is.
Was he rubbing it in?
Now we've got a Moultrie cam over at the farm, so it'll take photos and then it'll automatically send them to Eric.
Oh, cool.
So he'll send them to me and what I want.
So I can lie to him about what's really over there.
Yeah.
You're like, there's nothing over there. Don't waste your time.
No, it's over there. Look, we got we got a piebald deer over there. My dad said he saw it a few weeks ago and whatnot. Really? I just saw it this morning. We were going over to the farm. I opened the gate up, and there was like the past 2 mornings. There's been does hanging out right there in the woods. And they just hopped over and just ran off. And I just got out. I was opening the gate up. And damn, if there wasn't this piebald deer standing over there, I was like, oh, I was trying to get my camera out. And she went, woo! She just disappeared.
Yeah, have you ever seen a piebald deer before?
I haven't. Not a real one. No, not in live.
Yeah, I mean, you're aware of what they are, though. They're not like an albino. They're just kind of like it's like a genetic defect, but they're kind of like patchwork, white and tan, really pretty animal.
Yeah.
God almighty. But, I've been dying to kill a deer with my 300 blackout, just to see what that 110 grain hand load of mine will do. But then after that, I've got a 1951, 336, and 35 I want to slam one with. We always got all kinds of guns we want to slam deer with. Like, I wonder what this will do.
Well, yeah, his dad doesn't want us killing the piebald. But it's like if a 12-point buck walks out and it's a piebald, I'm just going to play makeup with. He's going down.
He's down.
I got buck fever and I couldn't see exactly what I was shooting.
I'm just going to have to play makeup with your dad.
It was dark
at that point. Yeah, exactly. Man, I don't know. I don't know what came over me.
Yep. But no, we enjoy hunting quite a bit. I mean, we go out and we predator hunt sometimes when we have the opportunity and everything. And
I know you guys are really busy. Do you travel around the country and do any hunts? Do you like pig hunts or elk hunts or bear hunts?
Some hog hunting. We've done some hog hunting occasionally. Just various places we've been. Sometimes it's just kind of like a planned deal. Like we went out to Texas and we did a hunt with Sharps Rifle Company. We were shooting their 25, 45 Sharps and all, and we laid waste to some pigs out there. And the round did real well. It was a fun hunt. And then I think when we were out the airgun show out there in Fort Worth, didn't we go out with a couple of guys? Yeah, we went out with a couple of guys and did some hog hunting, but we didn't see anything the entire night.
And then I went down to Albany, down to my buddy Rick Ward's house.
Oh man,
he's got a YouTube channel called The Urban Air Gunner, and he's a really good dude.
Yeah,
and he's one of my He's one of my hunting partners. You know, we go down and hunt all the time. We went out and laid waste to some pigs. We must have killed 7 or 8 pigs in one night.
And then Ray and I traveled down there to meet Eric because we were going to Florida the next week with Brownell's crew. And so we went out that next night. Not a damn thing.
Crickets.
Not anything. I'm like, where's all these hogs that you killed last night? Oh, they ran off.
We killed them all.
They're dead. So, they laid waste to all the animals and even killed a coyote, you know, and we got nothing. We just got, you know, dreary eyes and tired bodies and everything from riding around the back of a pickup truck, you know, looking at thermals all night. Like, oh.
Now, Brandi, do you hunt?
I do occasionally. I've never killed anything, though. I just look, I guess.
So you like to visually hunt?
No, I mean, I have a gun with me. I just never see anything.
We need to change that this year. We're definitely going to get her on a deer this year.
Yeah, I think you do.
We're going to.
It's like every time I'm in the stand, it's like crickets.
Well, we may go tomorrow night. We'll see. I'm actually going down to a friend of mine's place in Middle Georgia tomorrow. We're setting up some corn feeders and some stands, and he's got a hog problem. So we're going to try. Yeah, we're going to try to bait in some hogs and see if we can help him out with this hog problem.
Now in Georgia, is it allowed to use thermals and suppressors to hunt with?
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. You can use anything you want as long as they die.
Well, on predators and hogs or whatever, but like on big game like deer and stuff, you know, there's laws against that. You can't hunt them at night and all that sort of mess. But all the other critters,
hogs and coyotes. Yeah, hogs and coyotes, they want them dead.
Now,
so
like foxes, like there's Texas. A season on fox. Yeah, there's a season on foxes. But like coyotes and hogs, year round.
Foxes, you can't use an electronic call. You can only use hand calls for foxes.
And isn't season up before too long?
December 1st is fox season in Georgia.
Well, you know, speaking of, I haven't watched it yet, but Marty, you can see this.
What do you got? Yeah. We'll describe it. Oh, so you got a little foxtail. That's a big foxtail, actually.
That was a big fox, and then I've got his skull in the house. I still haven't finished bleaching it and stuff yet.
Did you get that last year?
That was last year, yeah.
Got that last year? How big was that?
We were out hunting. Big.
Big?
Big.
Like
big fox.
20 pounds?
I don't know, maybe like 17, 18 pounds, somewhere around there. He was a big boy.
Yeah, that's a big fox, definitely.
So, but he was dumb as a rock. Man,
Are you doing your own taxidermy?
Oh, we actually had Cameron Brinkeroff with us. He was hanging out for the week. And we went out hunting. We were just sitting in the tower, and then all of a sudden he just started calling. And that dumb fox, he was like, well, all right, what's going on here? And then it was funny because we started like laying waste to this thing, and it was like artillery coming in. And he was bouncing all over the place. I took one shot. I'm like, all right, I got him. I'm like, why is he still running?
I was shooting a CZ Scorpion, and I was lobbing 147 grain 9mm pills in at like 150 yards at him.
Like mortar.
They were bouncing all around him. Yeah, and the funny thing is, when we were boiling that skull, boiling the head.
Oh God, it was fun.
I had this little pot, and I made a Swedish stove, like where you split four pieces of wood and like let it burn from the inside out.
Yeah.
And we were boiling that son of a bitch on a Swedish stove in my backyard. I felt like such a redneck. And then we were calling pros that day. Yeah. Like when you're pro hunting and you got a fox head boiling.
I remember that.
Yeah, you're a redneck.
So Cameron, I never taxidermied something like that before, and Cameron said, "Oh, you just do this. All right." So we boiled the head in OxyClean.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So you boil the head in OxyClean. It kind of bleaches the skull and everything for the most part. It cleans it real well. It gets all the meat and everything off of it, disinfects it. And we were out there like drinking beer and boiling this head and everything. And then he said, all right, now, so you just take the skull and you just put some rubber boots on and put some old clothes on, and you get a pressure washer and you hold the skull between your feet and you use the pressure washer to pressure wash all the other meat and crap out of there. And I just had this fox head in between my feet blowing all this crap out of there with a pressure washer. I blew a couple of his teeth out and he was like, oh no.
This is too much.
Like, well, I mean, it was a small skull. So he said it's easier to do with like a deer or like a hog skull or something like that, with the teeth are a lot bigger.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was interesting, but we know how to do it now. So we might do some Euro mounts.
I Euro mount every single deer that I shoot. At a minimum, if we don't do a full shoulder, if I shoot one, I at least have a Euro mount done. I don't do the Euro mounts myself, but I've got a guy I take them to. And really, he doesn't charge a lot of money.
Well, you don't want to get all that. $100. You don't want to get all the goo all over you.
Well, no, I mean, it's just he does it. Like, he's good at it.
Well, all right. Yeah, we're not very good at it.
I'm going to get a buck and we're going to shoulder mount that bastard.
She's going to shoot the pie ball.
No, you're not.
All right, Brandy,
I won't shoot the pie ball.
we want to see pictures of you and your buck this year.
I will. I'm going to get one.
That's got to be your goal. Eric, you got to get her a buck.
All right, we're going to go tomorrow, actually, so.
I've been stalking those ones on the Moultrie camera. I'm like, that's the one I want right there. That one.
We've had quite a few show up. We had one big Bullwinkle motherfucker show up the other night.
Nice.
Oh, God, he was huge.
Eric sends me a picture.
Watch, I'm going to end up with the spike.
Eric sends me these random pictures and texts at like 11 p.m. I'm in bed laying around. My phone goes, zzz. I look over. He's like, big boy. And there's this picture of this buck, and it's like dark as crap, and you can just barely see him moving along. It's like, he's huge.
that deer is a monster.
It is a big one. We got some big ones over there.
Like Sasquatch's like deer that he rides.
There's some pretty
like
big
Bullwinkle.
He's got rocking chairs on his head.
Funny you mentioned Sasquatch. I'm supposed to be going on a Sasquatch hunt.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
All you got to do is go find Zeke.
Just find Zeke. Zeke or Adam from Palmetto or
Oh, yeah, one of those guys.
Hickok 45 and John.
Yeah, Big John. What's the Sasquatch hunt?
Got a good
Sasquatch
buddy.
hunt? Huh?
He's been sending like audio and pictures and, like evidence of a Bigfoot in his area. So I'm like, we're going to get some thermal. We're going to get some night vision. We're going to go out there and, we're just going to go identify what the hell this is. So
that sounds like a Blair Witch Project or something like that gone bad.
Gone bad. I'm definitely going to have my guns with me, so.
Well, that would be a step in the right direction.
You're going to get out there and you're going to hear banjos.
And then everybody's like, what happened to Left Hand? He just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is Chad and Eric taking over for Marty.
Welcome back to Talking Dead.
Talking Dead.
He's gone.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Marty's no more. We're going to be taking over the show.
Chris
All right,
Hardwick.
bye.
Nice.
We'll be seeing you.
Exactly.
You'll lose all your
that actually is a show. Yeah, that's right. I just now realized that.
You'll lose all your advertisers and it'll die. The show will just be a figment of everyone's imagination. Like, what? Talking Lead? I never heard of that before. Oh, yeah, it used to be a thing, but until Eric and Chad took it over and ruined it.
Right, whatever.
Oh, yeah, of course, the standard is that we have to ruin everything, so
Is that what it is? That's why you guys got millions of followers, yeah.
You think people send us guns to do meltdowns with?
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I'd love to send you my gun so you could burn it up.
Yeah,
go right ahead.
They don't pay you for that, do they? There's no way.
Freaking meltdown.
You want to melt my gun? You got to buy it, son. What's your last meltdown you did?
The last one was the Adams Orange Piston, I guess, right?
It was. Yeah. So the next meltdown that we're doing, we're going to try to do it really soon, like hopefully next week. We're going to be melting down a Smith & Wesson M&P upper.
Cool. Cheap M&P.
Yeah, I went up to Moss Pond. Michelle had a used one. I was able to buy it for a reasonable price. There we go. Bam. And take it out there.
And it's been a very highly requested video as well.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, melt a Smith & Wesson upper. I want to see what it does. I'm all right.
Here we go.
And can we tell them about the other project?
Sure.
Ooh, yeah. So it's been kind of in the works for a while. They were waiting on like the forms and variants and all that stuff, but hopefully we'll be doing a SIG Scorpion meltdown, or not a SIG, listen to me, a CZ Scorpion meltdown at some point.
Nice.
Yeah. So they were able to get a variance on one through Quiet Riot. And we work with them quite a bit. They bring machine guns out and stuff like that. And when we do meltdowns, they bring out the M16 lower and everything for us. And
so they were able to get the variance approved.
Chris told me that they were able to get the variance approved. They're just waiting on the gun now. So
all right,
we're going to melt it down, and then
that's something to look forward to. Lead heads, definitely.
Yeah. So Marty, we need some mags.
You need some mags?
We need a lot of mags. Yeah. So
we're going to need a lot of mags.
I can help you out.
Well, you can come down and help us load them if you are.
I would love to. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to call up CZ and be like, "Yeah, I need about 150 Scorpion mags."
What?
I'll give them back.
Oh yeah. Well, we just need to use them one time. Well, all right.
We just need to use them for a day.
What are you talking about?
Now, didn't you guys just shoot? And I don't know how old this video is. The full auto 12 gauge with the suppressed. Was that what you were shooting?
Oh, that wasn't full auto. That was just our trigger fingers.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Which shotgun was that?
That was the Origin 12.
That was the Origin?
That we did on Gunny time. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
They are neat.
I want to see you do a meltdown of what are they, AA10s? Is that what those shotguns are, the full auto?
Oh, that'll be impossible.
AA12,
Yeah.
you can't get those.
The AA12?
Nah.
Yeah,
Never gonna happen.
that guy's kind of weird. He doesn't really let people play with him that often.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of cuckoo.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of Knoxville, Tennessee, isn't he?
I mean, he's a cool guy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's just real funny about who he lets.
I'm just saying that's the
shoot
way
him.
us Tennesseans are. We're a little cuckoo.
Yeah, cuckoo. Now that, it's a good thing. It's a term of endearment.
Well, maybe you could maybe do the origin. Maybe they'll let you do that.
They'd have to make a machine gun. I'm sure they could do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not illegal. It's not illegal to bump fire.
Not yet.
It's not. It's really not. So, yeah.
Ban them belt loops.
Yes, sir.
Get them out
Yes,
here
sir.
right now.
Well, guys, I know y'all got a lot to do, and I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show with us. And it's been a good time, especially
Good
for
hanging out with you, Marty.
an unstructured show that we mostly do. But you guys are welcome back anytime. Anything that Talking Lead can do to help you guys out, you're more than welcome to give me a call, and we're here for you.
Cool. Just come down and load mags, man.
I'll do it. I'm serious, man. Just
All right.
let me know.
We really appreciate you letting us be on your show and everything. And I hope all of the listeners were not horribly repulsed
No.
by our horrible attempts at humor. If you've gotten this far, maybe you enjoyed a little bit or whatever, come over and check out our YouTube channel if you guys want to. It's Iraq Veteran 8888. And we're also on Facebook, Iraq Veteran 8888 Official. And on Instagram, it's Mrs. Iraq Veteran 8888.
And Chad _ IV8888.
Chad's got
No
his
one cares
own
about
IG.
Chad.
Hey,
No one cares
Chad
about me.
has more followers than me now, so he's stepping up.
Chad's got a
You
lot.
do.
So, real quick, guys, we just had a contest for a new logo for our lead heads where they get to pick their own design. Can you guys see that? Those three.
Yes.
Those three designs there.
I can see it.
Who do you think won? Which one do you think won?
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh,
Let's see the expanded HST.
The one on the left.
Yeah. Let's see, certified lead head.
the one on the right.
So you've got a certified lead head, you've got a talking lead with the bullet lead head, and then you've got the lead head brigade.
The one on the right.
I'm going to say the one on the left.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the left and the right. I like the Leadhead Brigade.
Yeah. So,
but I also like the expanded projectile. I think that's kind of cool.
Hands down, the winner was the Leadhead Brigade. That's going to be the new logo for our listeners. They got to design. These are listener designed. We had hundreds of people submit their ideas, but these were the three finalists. And we're going to be doing this with 1776 United.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I love the
James.
cross rifles. That's cool. The cross rifles is neat. Maybe we need to have a spiced up new logo. Maybe we should let one of our viewers scratch out a logo.
Well, what you got to do is just do one for your, what best represents your listeners, your subscribers. Say, hey, you guys submit one that you feel best represents the Iraq Vet IV8888 followers. I don't know, I'm calling them followers, but subscribers.
Sounds good. We might do that. We'll see. That's an awesome idea. Get your people involved. That's great.
Exactly. James would love to do that with you guys, I know. But congratulations to the winner of our logo contest, and those will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. You guys will be able to get your new logo shirts and patches. Eric, Chad, the beautiful Brandi, thank you guys again so much for being on the show. And hopefully
Thank you for having us.
Quit taking so
very
long
much.
to be on. We need to do more shows with you guys more often.
Anytime you want, you just let us know and we'll be there. If unless your listeners just say, "Oh, don't ever get those Jackwagons on there again,"
Those Jackwagons, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
Hopefully we won't be on the Jackwagon train. Maybe me.
Only if it's from the leftist,
That's right.
What would their Jackwagon train be called? Who knows?
The snowflake train?
Everybody, you mean their train for us?
The everybody
Right.
trophy train.
The people that don't agree with us train?
Everybody else?
The I'm offended train?
The people that hurt our feelings train? I don't know. There are all kinds of things.
The feelings train. That's what it is.
The feelings train, yep.
Yeah.
The
Those
wambulance.
dangerous
Wambulance.
people train?
The
All
safe
right.
space train.
Yeah. Mic 1, check. Mic 1, check. There we go. All right, Leadheads, we are back at the Big 3 East Autumn Edition. Were you here? You were here for that,
This
right?
was it was fall, now it's autumn.
It's autumn. Yeah, we can't say fall edition. That's apparently hurting some people's feelings.
What are you going to do, right?
Tim, he's crazy. So we got a new batch of people here joining us. We have Tucker. This is Tucker's second time on the show.
It is.
Tucker joined us last year. Blackout Cerakote.
Yeah, last year was our first time on the show. Actually, we were, I think, even only a month into opening our company.
Y'all were a new company.
We were brand new, and we're still here. We've grown a lot in the past year, probably faster than I expected.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. You know,
that's what you were kind of hoping would happen, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about.
Careful what you wish
year.
for, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ben was telling me he was going to send me a rifle to paint, though. I'm still waiting on that one.
Mookie?
Yeah, I remember because he was in the last podcast.
That's right. You need to like send him that soundbite.
Yeah, right.
Say, hey, dude,
this is for you, Mookie, if you're listening.
If you're listening, Mook, send him that rifle, man.
Yeah,
the local boy too, right up the road.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like their shop is like, I don't know, I think like 15 minutes from ours. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just right there.
He's
you should
right
just drive over there, man.
I know, I should.
Just grab one.
Like, what the shit?
I mean, you can't even give people stuff nowadays, right?
I know. I told him I hook him up, but it's whatever.
Also joining us is Steve Zokar, not Truck. Steve Zokar, CEO of Medieval Industries.
Said he's going to get medieval on him. He's gonna get real evil with it.
Yes, sir.
A little Pulp Fiction reference.
So how did you come up with that name, Medieval?
Actually,
you like Pulp Fiction?
Well, yeah, of course I do. Who doesn't? But we initially started off with the medieval ages, and my youngest son is kind of sitting there and he goes, "Why don't you just do medieval?" And I'm like, I don't know, with our industry and all, and with the left, the way
we're already demonized anyway.
And I was kind of like, but I guess if it's only mid, it's not all the way. Let's go for it. And I think it's catchier than what's out there.
I think it's a good name.
I like it. Yeah,
Thanks.
no, I'm not knocking it at all. I love the name.
It's hard to pick names for a company, man.
It is.
Like
something that's not already taken. Or, sounds too much like another one.
Everybody uses the same buzzwords.
Yeah. Especially in the gun industry. I mean, there's only so many things you could.
How many times can this be tactical before it's everything?
Right.
Right.
So. It gets repetitive. But
right.
yeah, I like it. It's a good name.
So where are you guys based out of?
San Diego.
San Diego. So you came a long way to get here.
No, I drove here.
Did you drive?
That drive? Oh, man, I'm
Bless
sorry.
your heart.
I'm sorry.
I had to become a traveling salesman.
I was feeling sorry for myself. I drove 9.5 hours. That was probably at least double for you.
How long of a drive was that?
It's a 2-day drive, isn't it?
No, 36 hours is what they call it. But I left, technically if I'd have left Friday, I would have been here Tuesday.
Right.
Or Monday night. But we decided let's leave Tuesday, and then while I'm driving, I'm going to pull in and meet and greet, show my grip and a couple of my other products to the dealers direct. And that worked well. I mean, we actually met quite a few people. We actually
So you
sold
stopped
grips.
at like a lot of the gun shops and stuff?
Oh, yeah. No, we stopped
That's an awesome
That's
idea.
a good way to do it.
Yeah. Make a business trip out of it.
We do that
exactly.
locally, and I think that's, to go cross country and do it, that's a great idea.
Well, yeah, because we're out of California.
Yeah.
We all know California's got all these crazy gun laws right now.
Yeah.
And the most recent batch that came through, basically, our California consumer is completely confused. They don't know what's up or down anymore. They don't know what they can have. No, I mean, it takes a while to learn it. And since we've been out there, it just really wasn't the place for us to be. Not to mention, we've sold our products and all they're there. But the thing is, the market's so crappy right now anyways, especially there, because anyone that's buying anything is trying to buy compliant stuff to make their AR-15s and stuff compliant with the new law. And then the accessory things are kind of the afterthought. So
yeah.
And then once
we haven't done, let's talk about what your company does. So,
okay, cool.
So as we're
we started
explaining your trip here
9 years ago, California has had this law. The law that's been implemented. It's called the bullet button on AR-15s and any type of tactical rifle and centerfire rifle. I should say.
Which the purpose of that is
basically to slow down the process of reloading a gun, your rifles. Instead of you being able to just push regular magazine releases, they had a setup where it's a small hole. You have to stick the tip of a bullet into there
to release the magazine.
Exactly. So I came up with a thing called the mag magnet, and it's a little magnetic tool that fits right over it, and it's actually done well. I mean, it still sells today, even with the law changing January 1st. And so then from there, I came up with the...
so they're changing that law?
Oh yeah, no, that thing's
so the bullet button's going away. It's going bye-bye.
Exactly.
Nice.
Well, the way it's going to work is
a win for California.
If no, it's worse.
Oh,
it gets worse. So
I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
So they give you a little taste of it, then they do something worse.
Oh yeah, no, it's so basically what they've left you a choice with. If you want to keep your bullet button, you have to register it with the Department of Justice.
So is it like similar to like registering a SBR or anything like that?
Exactly. They've even gone as far as the 80%ers. You cannot have an unserialized 80%er as of July 1st, 2018.
Really?
Right. It's really gotten bad. So
That's
then,
nuts.
so the option can be you can go featureless, which means you can't, there's all kinds of rules, but you can go featureless and have a standard magazine release as long as you meet the requirements of not having any of the California evil features, which my grip is an evil feature according to California legislators. So then you can either register, what no one wants to do, and then they have other kits like the Maglock and the Patriot. These are all set up where if you pull the rear pin and you actually break the action of the rifle, so when you pull it, your upper flings upward.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently patented and started.
That was that thing you showed me, right?
Yeah, it's part called the drop stop.
Have you
the
seen
drop
it?
stop.
Oh, did I see the drop stop?
You probably didn't get to see it.
It's pretty wild looking, man. It's
the truth
ingenuity
is,
right there.
It works well. I mean, it's basically everything I come up with usually is like a solution to something I see as a problem.
Right.
And so the part works great when you open it up. Instead of you fumbling with the front of your upper trying to hold it, you just open it. The drop stop keeps it in place, and then you can actually kind of flick it upward.
It's like self-stabilizing. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do your magazine work, all you got to do, and then go right back to it.
It's almost like the shotguns where you whip it up, locks in. It's like that, but in the AR style.
And, I mean, it's definitely going to be one of the...
I got to check that out. I didn't see that
It's pretty... He showed it to me earlier. It's pretty wild looking.
Yeah, it's cool. But I did the TX3 right before that. That's an end plate, ambidextrous QD end plate. It's got a little end tool on it, so... That tool, if you're deliberate about it, you take it off.
That was the magnet thing you were showing me, right?
Yeah, the other magnet one that mounts on the back of the end plate.
Yeah.
And so that is specifically for just takedown pins, and so when we went out with that about 2.5 years ago, we started showing it at SHOT Show. We were getting interest from some of the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a difficult product to market because, everything goes with branding and all the other stuff too. So I didn't want to be Mag Magnet because that's just a California product. I mean, it's a cool name, but it's California only. So I put it on the back burner because I had the idea for this 360 vertical grip probably around 8-9 years ago, back in 09 07 when I had the idea for the Mag Magnet. I also had the idea for this grip. So as we got out, started showing the TX3, which stands for Tactical Takedown Tool.
Okay.
So
I was going to ask you what that meant.
Yeah. So the grip was kind of like, I just, in the back of my mind, I'm like, and I told my wife, I says, you're going to probably kill me because we had spent the time, the money in manufacture these new parts. I said, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to let that take a back seat, and then I'm going to turn around and I want to design and manufacture this new grip, which was definitely more of a bigger endeavor than what we started off with.
Hit more people.
Yeah. But all my manufacturers are locally in San Diego, so it was pretty quick process. Within 3.5 months, we had over 20 prototypes, but got it to the point where it functioned and locked correctly because it literally is a twist of the wrist to the lower section, and then it sits on a ball, so you can adjust it anywhere.
It's really cool. Yeah, I was when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's another forend grip, and it's metal.
Right.
Exactly. I was like, what's the purpose? And then I saw you twist, and then starting to rotate it, and you can get it in any angle that you want.
Right.
Obviously it's not going to bend all the way up. Does it go all the way up? I don't think it does.
No, but what we've had some guys do is actually, Gapman's here, Carlos, he did a little video. He mounted his on the side rail.
There you go.
You can sight it on the side rail, and you can actually go off to the side. And so when I came up with the idea, it was because I liked the idea of a grip. And so every one I ever bought, it looked good, whatever it be. And in the end, it just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, man, I should just make this grip. So it took me
because
a
you're
while
limited
to
to whatever angle they cut it at, whether it's the straight up and down or it's those
sliding
angled.
Yeah.
So with your grip, is it considered
Magpols.
a vertical grip or an angled grip?
We haven't actually sent it to like ATF or anybody like that to see what they designate
How they
it at.
designate it.
I do believe that the part of where the pistol grip stuff comes into play is the length of protrusion it actually presents to you when it's mounted to the bottom of the handguard. So if it doesn't stick down further, I believe, than your actual trigger housing or the magwell, technically, then I think it's just a grip. Okay. It's not considered a vertical grip. So
angled grip.
An angled grip or something like that. So I think where we might have a little edge with it is if you did mount it on the side, and because we have a standard and a stubby length, the stubby will not stick down any further. So they come in 2 different
sizes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah, so.
Right on.
Yeah, we started selling them. January will be 2 years. The first generation weighed like 9.3 ounces. It was all, it had a metal ball, a steel ball, and
they're pretty cool. Swell let me play with his. That sounded bad.
What are we talking about here?
That sounded so bad.
Hey, that's another show. Come on, man. That's a show.
Schwell has one on his on one of his rifles, and I was messing around with it out here, and it's pretty cool. It's unique. You could, just how easily and quickly you could flip it all around and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you're maybe a competition shooter, they do all kinds of different weird angles and things like that when they're shooting. I could see, maybe that coming in handy for
they
one of them.
They barricaded them. I had Tom Rader with the Firearms blog 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know Tom? Tom took it out to the Superstition 3-gun, not last year, but the year before, and he ran it through the whole thing. And that was my Gen 1 that weighed the most, which weighed 9.3 ounces. Now they're all under 6 ounces.
Nice.
And he's got a full 6-page write-up with photos of every different way he used it. He barricaded with it, and he's just like, the thing solid. It works great. So
yeah, cool. and that fact that it's made out of that, what kind of metal?
It's all made out of 70-75 aluminum, and so initially what we thought was
sturdy.
Yeah, very, very
sturdy.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, for barricades and barricade stops and whatnot, it works great for that.
Right.
And then the fact that you can angle it, different way, and 360 degrees down on the bottom, you can get basically any kind of barricade.
Right.
Fit up against.
And it's not so much that it's just the barricade. It really comes down to what we believe is just the natural. The way your hand sits and the way it should sit.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Right.
Their
Everybody
hands are
has
different.
a little
Their wrists are different. Their elbows are different.
Yes, exactly.
So the way they purchase on a firearm,
right,
with those other ones, like you're saying, you're restricted to their angles.
Exactly. And so it's been a little bit of a challenge getting the everyone to accept it. Some guys are like, no way, this and that, and basically all I do is go, look, I get how you've been trained for years and years and years. You either liked the vertical or you didn't. And if you didn't, you may do with how you were going to have to put your hand on your rifle to.
But guess what? Not everything's for everybody.
Exactly.
That's why there's so many different products out there.
Man. I like
this is just another option, that's definitely going to hit. You got a market for it. I mean, there's no doubt. There's a market out there for it.
Yeah.
But,
and a lot of guys.
You're always going to have people that are just always doubting.
They're going to doubt everything until that's basically why we hit the road. Because I'm like, look, if I email and tell guys about it, nothing ever happens really.
They got to get
once we walk in and they feel it, they're going, wait a minute. I've had.
It's one of those that you got to see to really kind of appreciate.
You just see it and feel it. And
like when I first saw it. I mean, I was doubting already. I was like, but then I walked up to him. I was like, so what do you got here?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I was like, oh yeah,
right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, good. The thing about our show is we like to talk about innovative products, innovative companies.
Right.
Just thinking outside the box. You're not doing the same old thing. This isn't just another, vertical grip or foreign grip. This is a new grip, a whole new concept. I've never seen anything like it. So.
Right.
So kudos to you, man, for innovating. Keep the innovation going in our industry.
And we will have some accessories to add to it. We'll have a monopod, a bipod, and we've already got a flashlight attachment that replaces the plate on the Picatinny. You just slip it on. It's reversible, so you can lose left or right-handed. And,
nice.
It's an accessorizable accessory.
That
will just keep on coming up.
Accessorizable accessory.
I like that.
And we've never had anything like it out there before, so we're looking forward to all the fun stuff we get to do.
Very cool.
Right on.
What else? What else do you guys have? What else are you doing?
Right now, we'll be working on trying to get all the newer stuff, because once people buy it, the idea is to get them to come back and go, hey, I want the monopod, or I want a bipod. And so many guys have been like, I walked into a store in Lubbock the other day and walked in, talked to a couple of the sales guys. Well, I want to show you guys a new product. And there was a customer walking out and he goes, well, what do you got? And I said, well, vertical grip. He goes, nope, never mind. Nope, don't worry about it. I'm like, hey, no problem, bro. I get it. But Give me a second. Nope. And so I tell my guy, Cole, pull it out. Just show it to him. And he goes, what do you got? And he goes, look, and it's an adjustable grip. And he goes, whoa, wait a minute. He goes, okay. He goes,
blowing my mind here, dude.
If you put a bipod, the stand-up bipod for the 100, goes, I got 1,000 guys are going to buy this right now. And I said, I get it. I go through this all the time because I've actually got guys that go, no, I don't like a vertical grip. And I go, I know why you don't like a vertical grip. That's why I made this.
Right.
And so basically, I put it into their hands. I had some pretty old school Marine once at the Del Mar Gun Show in San Diego. And I kept trying to tell him, just charge it. Nope. We never got trained on it. I said, do me a favor. Just get the thing, put it in your hand so he gets it, and points it up to the ceiling, and he starts messing with the grip and finding different angles. Really pretty serious, gruff face. And then all of a sudden, he gets a big smile on his face. He goes, okay, he goes, it may not be for me, but wow, this thing is really cool. He goes, this is good. So
it's a good feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
And he's one of those guys who realized that, it's not something I can use, but I can see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see where this group of people, could benefit from.
Well, and I also think like the younger generation is so big into the new kind of innovative things, and so when we get it into the hands of those guys, they're going to really it'll just keep growing as it goes.
And this is called the 360 vertical foregrip, right?
Yeah, we actually changed it. Kyle was doing some of our marketing stuff, post marketing, and what we decided was let's call it the RFG, rotating foregrip. So as our new stuff comes out, we'll be rotating because there's already a VFG, vertical foregrip. There's an AFG, but there is no RFG. So
there you go. Yeah. The RFG. There's no VFG either. So
well, some of them call it vertical foregrip, but we just thought rotating was.
I think if you take the vertical out, then people are automatically, labeling it and discounting it possibly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
From a marketing standpoint.
Yeah. Kudos to Kyle on that one.
There you go. I like your logo too.
Yeah, I mean, we just
see. When I first saw your name, I'm thinking these guys do knives or something like that.
Right.
That's not.
We tried to keep a little with the sort of the medieval. We've got it where it says Victor Mali. Victor Mali is just Latin, and all it means is it's conqueror of evil. And initially, we were going to go with Arma Malum. Arma Malum meant but it meant evil weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving around one day, and it's just like for a couple of weeks it'd been bugging me, and I just called my wife and I said, "Hey, babe, why don't you Google Victor, like something like that?" And she did, and I'm like, "Okay," because we can't do that. If anything, God forbid, ever happened bad,
sure,
and that thing we're involved, good, it's no good.
Be the end.
Yeah, we changed it. Yeah.
Hand me a little drink of sweet tea there. So Tucker.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you guys are cranking out some pretty awesome Cerakotes.
Yeah, man, we've been
brought a big display to the show.
Yeah, we've been super.
You guys
busy.
can look on our Instagram page. We did some posts with Tucker yesterday. But as you're listening, go ahead and pull up his website, which is
Blackout. It's blackout_custom_Cerakote.
There you go.
Cerakote is spelled Cerakote.
Perfect. Now, as you guys have that website up, you can see the work that he's going to be talking about here. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so lately we've been, just branching out. We started small doing Cerakote just for a couple gun shops like last year. But now, I mean, we've been getting guns from all over the country. And, it's not only just, customers, it's, big companies. And, like we just did a rifle.
Mass runs.
Not so much mass runs. It's, Radian, touched base with us and we did a rifle exclusively for them. And, I'm sure you're familiar with Radian, but they use a really distinct kind of gold yellow color for their logo.
Right.
So we actually duplicated that color because it's not like a color you could just go on Cerakote website and say, hey, I want this color.
Right.
You have to custom mix that. And, so we got their color codes and, we did our best to come up with it. And, from what they said, it looked like an exact match. But yeah, we've been really busy. I mean, I've hired 2 other people in the time since we last talked. And
man, you are growing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Very nice.
One of them, he's a young kid, 23 years old. He's actually here with me. You saw him over there. He's got one of the other shirts on.
Yeah.
But 23, graphic design student at UCF. So driven.
Cool.
I mean, he is, just as much of the artist as I am. I mean, he comes up with a lot of the graphics that we use.
Right.
The stencils, always making crazy vector files and stuff. So, we've been doing some pretty wild stuff, man. And, on top of that, we started another company called Force One Tactical.
Force One Tactical.
Force One Tactical. It's Force the number one Tactical.
Okay. Is that a whole other website?
It's a whole other website, whole other division. That is our CNC company.
Okay.
So
this is one where you're doing the cuts.
This is where we're doing the Glock slide cuts. We'll be coming out with all the M&P models here probably within the next 3 months. We're trying to have it in time for January, but yeah, basically we started coming out with we're developing mag extenders now to kind of match what Sharps Brothers does with the lower receivers, with the Jack, the Hellbreaker, stuff like that. So those will be coming out soon. But yeah, right now we're kind of focusing on our razor cut, which is our signature cut for Force One Tactical.
Gotcha.
We put this cut through the ringer. We put blood on our hands, oil on our hands, grease, whatever you could think of. And, you could still cock the thing 10 different ways. Even with gloves on, no matter what, it's a solid cut. And the way we do it is because we have our slides sit on so many different fixtures, on so many different angles, that the tool is able to put it at the right pitch where it gets such a sharp edge. Not too sharp enough to the point where it irritates your hand.
Yeah.
But it's, especially after we sandblast it, it kind of takes the burr off. But
yeah.
Now
is this can you patent a cut?
I haven't seen anybody do that, but
I think you should.
We're actually thinking of patenting our RMR cut because we actually just came out with that. We literally
you can patent anything.
You can design patent that, which is pretty easy to get too.
We literally just finished our RMR cut probably a week ago, and it's the first RMR cut I have never seen anybody do where the battle plate that actually goes on top of where the RMR would sit is actually skeletonized and hollowed out with 4 windows on top of it. Wow. So, you could literally see down in there and through it and all around it. So it makes it really cool, especially when you're tying in Cerakote with it, where you could do a color underneath and actually see what that color is.
Mm-hmm.
So
I kind of did that with my, I was telling you about mine.
Yeah.
We did the cuts from the top and the sides, and then we Cerakoted the barrel.
Right.
And we put some designs on the barrel.
I'll show you
that tied in with the cuts.
Cool. Yeah. I'll show you a quick picture of it, but it turned out so rad, and so we're really trying to put that into production now. And for the people that want to purchase it, it will only go on our slide cut. It is not compatible with anybody else's slide cut. Okay. But that's basically a picture of it right there.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
So, but it's literally like this thick underneath there where you have room.
That is cool.
Yeah,
that's real cool. I like that.
One of our customers were even saying, I could put some money in there or something, or I could put my...
What is that called?
The RMR plate.
The RMR plate. And is that on your website?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so as you guys are listening to us, go check that out, and you'll see what we're oohing and on about.
They are not available for purchase yet, but you can get them with one of our slide cuts.
Gotcha.
Right now, we're making them just one-offs per slide.
So I'm going to show you mine. We call this the Talking Lead Knights Templar.
Okay.
Clearing the gun. It is clear. I'm handing it over now.
Oh, yeah, that's wicked, man.
So I call that dragon scales.
Yeah, we did a rifle with this, a very similar pattern, and this was one that I was telling you my employee, Ryan, he came up with, and, he did it all on his own, and it was layers and layers of paint, but the customer was fanatic about it. It turned out so nice. This is gorgeous, though.
Yeah, so I designed that. And then I had a buddy of mine who's got CNC that did the cuts for me.
That's sweet, man.
Really?
That's awesome.
Giving me some ideas.
Yeah, I know, right?
Liking the shield in there.
That looks
wicked. Baby.
Yeah.
Wow. And on the barrel, it's rubbed off now, but we had one of the lions that you see on the shields.
Okay.
The Knights Templar shields.
Yeah.
It rubbed off.
How do you like those Sharp Brothers overthrow lowers? Kind of goes with that theme. With the Spartan helmet lowers. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, it's more Spartan. This is more Knights Templar.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
But, Crusaders.
Yeah. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've just been super busy with the slide stuff, and now we're in the process of trying to come out with more different slide model cuts. So it's just that much more we could offer our customers.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's rad.
It's got the helmet.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. Is like, whoa, you don't really see it, and you look at it again, and it pops out at you.
Yeah. Is it raining?
Yeah.
Is that rain?
I love those like the dragon scales. That's wicked, man.
Yeah, I like the dragons.
I've never seen that. anywhere.
Yeah, I wanted him to go all the way back with him. Somehow he lost it in translation, but
yeah. Well, it would be really hard around the chambering area just because of how thin the metal gets.
Well, I mean, they could just skip there, but go that way with it.
Yeah.
Bring it up there, and then I could have brought it up here, but I wanted that cross on there. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
nice gun.
I'm digging that. So we were talking about maybe you doing something like that on my new Gen 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Some theme like that.
I love that. That's the type of stuff we really like doing is one-off stuff. And like you were holding that one rifle yesterday, the alien-themed one.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I mean, there's just so much little detail in there that you can't really see in a picture or a video, but when you get it in person, I mean, it's just so much detail. I mean, into the Cerakote with like little markings, smaller than
I kind of, I dig that the Cerakoting. It used to be people just do like a one color kind of thing. I'm going to go with FDE. I'm going to go with a ghost gray, but it's become more your weapon's more of an art thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's a place to express yourself and
definitely
your artistic.
And the way I look at it is, everybody's, with your rifle, especially when you're spending thousands of dollars on it, and then, a couple hundred on Cerakote, you don't, really want to damage it. And then, sometimes it becomes too pretty where you want to let it sit on a shelf.
Right, you just want to display it and have people look at it.
Yeah. So, and we do a lot of those types of paint jobs, but, for like on a lot of my personal weapons, which, that Spikes, Alien one was one of them.
Yeah.
I prefer more of like a real grungy, dark type of look. That way if you do go, mess it up a little bit,
it's going to blend in.
It's going to blend in a lot more, especially like,
it's like camo.
Yeah. If you're a daily, a weekly, competition shooter with, your pistol or whatever it may be, do something grungy or something that's not going to, really wear out quick. I mean, we could always layer it with, clear coat to protect it.
Wear it out, then they got to bring it back and do it again, man.
Yeah, that's true.
It's repeat business.
Dude, I painted some guns like 10 times, so it's just, I get bored with it.
I'm of the belief that you do what you like.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's your gun. Do something that expresses your personality, your likes.
Oh, yeah. And then, there's so many people that do Cerakote now. I mean, it's like, when we first got into this, I mean, there were a couple,
like lube companies.
Yeah. It's just like, it's grown so much. And I mean, just even me personally, we have companies that contact us almost on a monthly basis. Like, hey, man, can you give me tips on what, tools I need? And, can you help me out with some, paint tactics and stencils and stuff? And I really don't mind because, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I think my work, and if you go on our, our pages or website, our reviews speak for themselves. We have a great customer base, very loyal, and I think they just really enjoy the work that we put out. And,
now I assume you've got your FFL?
Yes.
Okay. So people can send you from all over the United States their gun. Yeah. Tell them the process for doing that.
So typically the way the process works, and I'm kind of glad you asked this question because that's what I think stopped a lot of people from actually doing the process of this, of sending a gun in to either get slide cut or Cerakote or stippling. But for me, and I used to be a customer, so I understood what it was and that fear that of sending your firearm in to get customized.
Right. Somebody you don't know, you're sending them.
You don't know.
Am I going to get it back?
And it's just, how long am I going to be without it? So with us, our turnaround time is roughly, 2 weeks or less, which is super fast, from what a lot of the other companies do. But I like to make the customer feel as super comfortable as I can throughout the whole process. And it's, my wife hates it, my kids hate it, but, it's part of having a good business. And, so throughout the whole process, we're constantly sending the customer pictures like, hey, this is the step your gun's on, or how do you like this color shade? We could change it, or, do you like this stencil? You want it smaller, bigger, whatever the case may be.
Keeps them involved with the process and
super involved.
The anxiety of not having their fiarm kind of subsides a little bit. Yeah.
And I think that's why we've excelled.
Here's pictures of your baby. We're taking good care of your baby.
Hit them off at the pass.
A lot of the times I end up sending a picture at the end and be like, dude, I can't send this back. Like, how much do you want for it? I'll buy it off you. But, that's that's how it pretty much goes. And, so when you send us your gun, you send it in with a copy of your FFL or RFL in the box.
Mm-hmm.
We disassemble it. We put it through the whole degreasing process. We sandblast it. We paint it, clear coat it. Then we reassemble it, test fire it, make sure it still works, and then we send it on back to you.
Now somebody's just sending you a slide.
Mm-hmm. No FFL was required.
Not required. It's just the lower part that would require if they're going to do the stippling or whatever.
Correct.
Whatever else. Now, do you do custom designs, or are you just doing the designs that you have on on your site?
For our slide cut, we have one slide cut designed in specific. We can do custom stuff, but it tends to get so expensive that not a lot of people do it. So right now we just have our one signature razor cut, and then for the slides, and we're coming out with 2 or 3 other models and designs, that are going to be a little bit cheaper and easier to do. So it's also going to give us a quicker turnaround time. For the Cerakote stuff, you dream it, imagine it, we could do it. Basically, we could do anything you want.
Very cool.
Yeah.
One more time, give everybody your website.
It's blackout_custom_Cerakote.
There you go. Steve?
mid-evil.com.
There you go. Medieval.com. And we didn't talk, what's the price point on your grips?
Right now we have promotional pricing on it. It's $89.95 is our MSRP. And if you go with the 2, we have a couple colors in Cerakote. It's $20 more.
Okay. And these things are really cool, guys. Make sure you go check them out. You're going to want one after you see it. I guarantee it. And then check out his other products, too, especially California people. He's got some...
the drop stop.
The drop stop, the little...
TX3.
The magnet thing.
Magnets, yeah. Magnets still sell.
The magnets, yeah. Definitely. Guys, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for having us on the show.
Today and
definitely, guys.
Let our listeners know about your products.
Yeah, awesome. Definitely, man. We appreciate it.
So we might need to get with you guys and get maybe some Leadhead discount codes set up for our subscribers.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
So we'll get something set up for you Leadheads and get you a little special discount from these guys.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Thanks for having us, brother.
Yeah, always,
anytime,
man.
Guys. Yeah.
Anytime you guys have anything new that's coming out, you want to get the word out, come talking lead.
Okay.
You're more than welcome.
Sounds good.
All right. More from Big 3 East coming up soon. All right, lead heads. That wraps up another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. We appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. If you would, please leave us some feedback on the podcast service that you listen to us. That helps us in the ratings, and we greatly appreciate that. And support those who support the show. We'd like to give a big thanks to all our sponsors. Right On, the official optics of Talking Lead. That's RITON. Check them out at rightonusa.com for your full line of rifle scopes, red dots, binoculars, magnifiers, and soon they're going to have a nifty spotting scope for you guys. Modern Spartan Systems, modernspartansystems.com. Optimize your firearms with Modern Spartan Systems' full line of gun cleaning products, oils, and greases, and they also have products that extend the life of your automobiles, and for you guys in the manufacturing business, your heavy industrial machines. ModernSpartanSystems.com. X Steel Targets. X Steel Targets. The best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market today is X Steel Targets. Check them out at xsteeltargets.com. Frontier Tactical, the makers of the Warlock multi-caliber adapter system for your AR-15. With their system, you can shoot up to 90 different calibers. It's like over 100 now, I think, something like that. But check them out at frontiertactical.com. They're also making their own line of AR-15s now that are fully compatible with their Warlock system. Right out of the box, you'll get a AR-15 fitted with their tried and true Warlock system. Check them out, frontiertactical.com. High Threat Concealment. These guys make an awesome line of holster and belt accessories that are extremely concealable. So go check them out at highthreatconcealment.com for their full line of belts, mag holsters, gun holsters, and accessories. And make sure you guys go check out Keltec, KeltecWeapons.com. They are going to be the official lead quarters for the 2018 SHOT Show. That's right, we're going to be broadcasting from their booth, the Keltec booth, at SHOT Show this year. All 4 days, we're going to be there, so if any of you lead heads are going to be at SHOT Show, make sure you come by the Keltec booth and say hey. Also want to give a big thanks to our buddies over at Asymmetric Technologies. They're once again sponsoring Talking Lead for our trip to the 2018 SHOT Show. So big thanks to Asymmetric Technologies. Check them out at asymmetrictechnologies.com. And with our sponsors and most of the friends of the show, you guys can use the discount code LEADHEAD and get awesome discounts at all of our sponsors' websites. So as you're shopping online, be sure to use that LEADHEAD discount code. Until next week, Leadheads, this is Left Hand signing off. And as always, Leadheads, keep your loved ones close.
This is Steve with Medieval Industries and your firearms closer.
This is Tucker with Blackout Custom Cerakote and your firearms closer.
And as always, lead heads, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.
Perfect. And as always, lead heads, keep your loved ones close.
Keep your big black guns closer, boy.
Let's hear it.
Big black scary guns. All right.
And your guns closer, boy.
Keep your firearms close to your heart there now.
Brandi, you do one.
I'm laughing at them. I don't know what to say.
Do something girly.
Something girly.
Something
oh,
girly.
God. Keep your pots and pans closer. I don't know.
Hey, can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hang on.
Keep your Tiffany blue Glock close there now.
That doesn't sound nothing like Brandi.
Dusty trail